Hello, good evening, happy Monday, and welcome to our continuing of the study of John Maxwell's The Power of Five. And I really love, and if you guys know me, you know I love mindset and everything that has to do with mindset. So I was really excited about this chapter. And before I found a clip from John Maxwell that I thought that I would share. It's like a 1-minute clip. So let me pull that up. Share sound. All right, so I am gonna play this and then we'll pause it and we'll chat in between. And then I'd like to end with a video that I found that was really good.
The word today is mindset. Doug Welton from Clearwater, Florida, who is a coach and a counselor, sent the word mindset in. And Doug, you and I both know that how a person thinks is going to determine almost everything about his or her success. In fact, here's what I say, Doug, to you and to all of my friends. When I teach about success, I think the greatest gap in the world between successful and unsuccessful people is the thinking gap. I think successful people think differently, not better, maybe even not smarter, but differently than unsuccessful people. I have never known a person who was a life coach, a leader, a successful person at all that didn't understand the power of thinking. That's why, Doug, every day in the morning I look at my schedule and I think and ask myself this question: what's the most important person I'm going to see? What's the most important event I'm going to see and then participate in? Because I want to make sure that I maximize my day. In the evening, I reflect and I say, okay, how did my day go? And I go through my whole hour-by-hour calendar. Why? Because here's what I know. If we go through our day without thinking, we will go through our day without being successful and sowing the seeds that we need that can reap the harvest that only a good mindset can bring to us.
Stop sharing so I can see y'all. So I love that he said that mindset is the thinking gap and it's sowing the seeds. Anybody want to thoughts on that? It's like when I'm teaching my class and administration, as they're observing me, then it's crickets. Meanwhile, any other time my class won't stop talking. Anybody have anything, if you got through the chapter, Power 3, anybody have anything that stood out to them?
I highlighted a lot in this chapter too. One was what he was talking about, thinking. Where success is concerned, people are not measured in inches or pounds or college degrees or family background. They are measured by the size of their thinking. I thought that was pretty cool.
What page was that on? Oh, that was the David Schwartz quote.
Yes. Yeah, that was on 74 in my book.
Yeah, 74 in mine. So you and I must have the same.
I
love that. What else, Terry?
I didn't know. I have quite a bit, but just so much stood out to me. A few small steps in the right direction become some of the biggest steps in life. My cat's distracting me with her purring. Oh God, I have so much. I'm just trying to. I liked when he said, "Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me."
Mm-hmm. I tell my students that all the time.
That was a short but very powerful statement. I really believed. I like highlighted so much. I like the reality is the enemy of fantasies, but not of our dreams.
Yeah.
Oh God. Self-evaluation is helpful, but evaluation with someone else is essential. I thought that was good too.
Oh, and the coachable one, right? That was under
Yeah,
coachable.
yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
have to
good.
buy some highlighters if I keep reading books like this.
That's a good problem to have though, Terry. I'm super proud of you.
Yeah, especially for that Terry that used to think she wasn't a reader.
I remember. I remember sitting in the car talking to you on the phone. You're like, I
I
don't like.
said, the Terry that used to be.
Amen, girlfriend. Anybody else want to share? Like Wendy, I know you're really good at having things stand out to you. Anything stood out to you with this chapter?
I definitely like the coachable part of it. I don't know, I kind of related to it just because I've been a coach and I'm always telling my girls to be coachable.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? To listen, and like people aren't doing it to criticize you, they're just helping you to like learn. And I actually got a really good compliment from Kaylee's coach, because that's what I told her, you know what I mean? Like, soak this all up, be a sponge. Like, as much as they're competitive, like they want to learn and they want to get to be better. And that's what you do is, you know what I mean? Like listening to them. And so a lot of it in this, like that part, I was trying to look, I thought there was I read it I read this in the bath every Sunday. So I don't always take my highlighter with me. And I thought something really stood out there and I was trying to read down through. But if it comes to me, I will find it and I'll read it to you.
Is it in the coachable part?
Yeah, I thought so, but something stood out, but I can't find where it was that I really like loved it.
I loved where it said, I can go farther and faster with someone coaching me than I can on my own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
like on. It
that
says
might be
after taking the class, the average person has 22% increase in performance, but the same person who is coached will have an increase of 88%. And I was like, that I thought was insane. And I thought about y'all know the I'm sure you've seen the new girl that I signed up just a few months ago, Lynn, and she double fast start last month with senior silver and gold. And I have never seen somebody who is so strong, but also so coachable. And I feel like a lot of times, like when you're strong, then you struggle with being coachable, or because it's when somebody's telling you to do something differently, it's like a jolt to our ego, maybe like we should know how to do it, whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's sometimes how I struggle with. But she is super coachable. And I went over some things with her in March and she implemented all of them in April and like soared. It was amazing to see.
okay.
Wendy, I think you were going to say something else.
I just found it. It kind of really stood out. I've dealt with a lot of bad attitudes, so this. It says, but even the best coach can't overcome a bad attitude. That's why to maximize important improvement of yourself and your performance, you need to have a coachable attitude. And I think that's huge. Like, you
I
can be
had
coachable, but you have to have a good attitude going into it. You cannot have a bad attitude.
I had that whole section, what you just read, and the second paragraph where it talked about teachability. I just put the highlighter and just highlighted and put it in a bracket because those two paragraphs were powerful. I agree.
I think that goes back to what I was saying too, like being coachable, you have to be humble because otherwise you're never going to grow. I think that's where, at least that's what I'm getting from the teachability, is when a person pairs desire to grow with humility. Like you have to have that openness to want to grow.
Yep.
What's which one of these? I always like the questions at the end, the act. So which one of these would you say you need to apply? And I don't know, I feel like apply and teacher are similar, apply and change are similar, but which one do you think you need to apply most in your life with the power of mindset? Is it realistic, coachable, positive, persistent, or belief in yourself and your why, your purpose?
Well, we all know my struggle is belief in myself. I mean, I'm being honest. I mean, I think that is my biggest struggle. And I don't even think it. I know that that is my biggest struggle. And I believe that is why I'm not growing to my ability, because of my own hurdle of not believing enough in myself and my self-worth.
Terry, do you remember when we were in Nashville?
Oh yeah. What do we remember? No.
What did I make you do? Do you remember?
What did you make
I
me do?
literally dragged you by like your earlobe, I think, because you were like a little child and was like, I'm not going. I made you stand on stage.
Oh yeah, and I bawled. Yes, I remember. Yes, I remember.
And look at how far you've come from standing on that stage behind that podium, visioning that, to now.
But I'm still dealing with that. I have grown. Yes, I
Yes,
will
you have.
1000% agree. But I just have to keep kicking my own butt and do it.
Yes. Anybody else? What
Wendy's the one that got me started reading.
who?
She's Wendy. She's the one that challenged me to get reading
I love that.
and would check in with me all the time. And not too long ago, she checked back in with me and asked me if I was reading. And she couldn't see this, but I put my head down and I put my head back up and said that I wasn't, because I wasn't. I mean, I was honest with her. I wasn't. I stopped.
But that's good though. That transparency, that honesty, I think is really good, because like that feeling inside when like, and I have been there, like when I put my head down, I'm like, oh, but it like jolts you back into it, I think.
Hey, I was on a phone. I was texting. I could have said, oh, I'm doing good, Wendy, but I can't. That's not me. You know,
but part of that accountability is being vulnerable in all the good and the bad. And I think that's part of being coachable.
And that's why I love my butt.
Anybody else want to share something that made you like when you need to apply or change?
Who?
Anybody?
Oh, okay.
I think for me, I definitely actually Terry, I also put belief in myself, because I struggle with that. I struggle with imposter syndrome all the time, and I've talked a lot about this. Just because, and Melissa O is on, and she literally like is at my house probably almost daily and has seen me struggle with food choices and things. And like Wendy, I think you and I have even talked about this, like it's just a constant struggle, and yet I coach people in making the right food choices. And so I think that's always been a struggle for me, that mindset, and like in the back of my mind, like that overcoming that imposter syndrome. And I think the other thing, and I wrote this down for change, was persistence. Right now, it's easy for me to work plexus because I'm not working right now, right? I'm home with a broken foot. And so I have the time again, just like I did last year when I was on disability. But when life hit in August, and I had to put everything on hold, the Bible study that I was leading, and plexus and everything moving, and Larry's heart attack, and going back to like, I couldn't find that pushing through the season of struggle that he talked about. I tend to pause and then go backwards. And then I think that's where mindset kicks in, because then it's the negative mindset of, oh, well, look, my points are down, and oh, well, look how, I was there, but now I'm not. And So yeah, I struggle with that. Anybody else want to share anything? What about teach? What is one thing that you feel that you like, you read that and you're like, yeah, I'm really good in that area. Like that's my strength in this area with mindset. There's one thing that you feel like, I always tell my kids, if I give you the dry erase marker, you can go up to the whiteboard and teach the class. Like, what is one thing that you're like, I'm a rock star in that area?
I think I'm good at being positive. Like that, I think this has really changed Plexus One in general, but I think it's my mindset. Like yesterday with our race, my friend did not sleep the night before. She had taken a medicine and realized it didn't let her sleep. She had a migraine and she was trying to sleep it off, but it did not. So she woke up and she had a really bad attitude, like just negative. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, just push through. You got to stay positive. You're thinking of all the negatives that you're never going to do this and you're not going to make it through the race. And she did look at me and she's like, I'm being serious now. And I'm like, so am I.
I love that.
So I think a lot of it is just trying to see the positive in everything. I mean, I know not everything is positive, but I try to find the positives in even the low moments. So I think that's kind of my strength lately.
I love that.
And helps me get through.
Thanks for sharing that.
I think for me, it's my passion and love for people. Like I just love people and I just want to help those in need. And it's always been a passion for me.
Having that heart to love on others. I think I kind of was with Wendy. I thought mine was the positivity, because I feel like I'm always like trying to motivate people, and I'm always telling people, you know, what you focus on expands, and focus on the positive. But I really liked number 3 under there, the no whining zone. I have that sign in my classroom. Actually, it's the word whining with like, you remember like cigarette. I always think of it's the cigarette sign with like the slash through it, like the red circle with the slash through it, like no smoking. It's like a no whining zone. Because I really struggle when people have that negative attitude. I don't know. I always try to see the positive, the good. So I think I kind of, and I liked the never be complacent. I don't want to just be content with where I'm at. I always want to push for more. And so I thought that I really like related to that. The criticism one, not so much. I struggled with the persist through the criticism. I actually wrote wow next to this. One way to avoid criticism is to do nothing and be a nobody. The world will then not bother you. And I liked, and I'll end with this and then I'll show the last video unless anybody has anything else to add. The Dilbert comic, and in my book, it's on page 90. I actually said to my mom, I want to find this and print it out and like put it in my classroom. I can only please one person per day. Today is not your day. Tomorrow isn't looking good either. I just thought that was funny. Anybody else want to share anything, thoughts?
I can't believe we're almost done this book and I read it all.
Believe it, girlfriend.
Well, no, I still have, but I'll pat myself on the back because that is huge for me.
All right, I'm gonna end with the last thing that I was gonna show. It's a poem about mindset, and I thought it was really, I just really liked it. I don't know. I was looking up things to share, and I saw this, and there was a couple different versions of it, like the way they did the video, the same poem, but just the way it was read. But this one I really liked, so we'll end with this.
The word today.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men cant with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. End of recording.
I loved that.
That was good.
So I'll end with this. I know it's 9. Well, we don't have another Zoom, but I don't want to hold you guys. I'm going to be mindful of your time. But I always tell people this, and I think it is, and I was talking about this in small group actually at church yesterday. In the end, mindset is a choice. We can choose to be negative, or we can choose to be positive. Either way, it's a choice. And the choice is ours. And I always love, and I know I've said this before to you guys, and I say it all the time, what you focus on expands. If you, when I was looking for a car and it was car shopping and we were looking at the Nissan Pathfinder, all of a sudden everybody on the road drove Nissan Pathfinder, right? Because that's what I was focusing on. Did everybody miraculously buy Nissan Pathfinders before I did? No. But that's what I was focusing on. And that was what I was zeroing in. So suddenly I was seeing every Nissan Pathfinder on the road. So mindset, I believe, really is like that. It's a choice. And it has to be intentional, because it's easy for us. I believe it's just part of our nature to kind of go to the negative, and it's work to pull us into the positive. If we stay in that negative, we have to pull ourselves out. Otherwise, we will sink. I was sharing this with a friend the other day who's been struggling. And I said to her, you have to force yourself. It's like a muscle. You have to work at it. But I think that with our businesses are not going to grow if our mindset is not in the right place. And so if that's what we want, if we want that time freedom, if we want to have that financial flexibility, that all of the blessings that come from whatever rank it is that you're dreaming of being, I think that if we want that, then we need to really guard our mindset, just like we have to guard our hearts and what we allow in. So that's my little platform. Anybody have anything they want to say before I stop recording?
Thank you for doing this since Bree couldn't.
Anytime. I told Bree, probably in the summer, I'll pick up doing some mindset Zooms again. Like more than just well, she won't have the kids with school, but I'll definitely help. I couldn't obviously with school, but once summer is here and I'll have more time too, then I'll do it. Let me stop recording.